Welcome to this week's tarot tutorial where I break down the hidden messages and meaning of the tarot one card at a time in a simple bite-sized way. These videos are designed for you to participate and actively learn tarot by creating a keepsake reference book by the end of the series. I'm Heather, and whether this is your first time joining my channel or you are a longtime subscriber, thank you very much for joining the Dogstar pack. In today's video, we will be exploring the symbolism and interpretation of the Seven of Pentacles. If you find value in today's video, please like, comment, share, and subscribe. It helps my channel grow, but it also lets me know what kind of content you want more of. Now let's jump right into our learning all about the Seven of Pentacles. This is the part of the video where you are going to be gluing down your card and writing out the Seven of Pentacles. I'm just going to turn my page this way so it's easier for me to write when I start writing. The Seven of Pentacles is what we're looking at today. A few quick reminders of the Seven of Pentacles is the Suit of Pentacles represents material and physical world. It corresponds to the element of earth, and that rules over finances, money, prosperity, work, the physical things, physical tangible things that we possess, our practicality, responsibility, groundedness, health, body, the physical body, and physical well-being, and also nature, the seasons, the cycles, and that slow growing periods that lead to long-term goals. It also represents the material reality and about turning ideas and manifesting them into physical form through patience, through hard work, through steadiness, and the wisdom of building something that's going to be lasting and enduring. So with that, we're going to move on to our Seven of Pentacles. And the theme of the Seven of Pentacles, I'm just going to write this down up here. So a theme is that the Seven of Pentacles is patience, evaluation, and long-term growth. So patience, evaluation, and long-term growth. Okay. And now when we look at the Seven of Pentacles, the one thing you're going to see is you see this gardener here that's standing over this bush or shrub that is growing pentacles, a money tree. And so what this gardener is really doing is they're standing here and they're looking at the crops. They're looking at the amount and they're thinking about how much work that they have put into their crops and what is coming out, like what is growing from it. What are the yields from the hard work that they've invested into these crops? And so the other thing is as he's assessing this, he's thinking about, okay, how are things looking? Do I need to put more work into it to get the yields that I want or need? Or is this good? He's thinking about his long-term goals, and he's also understanding that a little bit of patience is required, that you know, the crop is growing, you see all these pentacles growing, that money tree is bearing fruit, but it's not quite there yet. So there's a little bit more hard work and patience that is required and a waiting period. And you do also see too that there's a single pentacle that I'm going to talk about too that is separated from the group and sitting here on its own. So the first thing we're going to start here with is gardener assessing crops. And this is, again, he's waiting, contemplating, his efforts, and he's considering future direction or course of action. And then the other thing I'm going to point out is, again, that single pentacle that's separated. So single pentacle. And this is really where that questioning the investment and the effort that you've put into something is coming into play, and that's represented by this single pentacle that's isolated and by itself. So questioning, efforts, investments. Yeah, okay, that's good. And then, as I mentioned earlier, this is the element of earth. But this is earth as steady cultivation. And then the number, numerology, is the number 7. And the number 7 is about assessment. So assessment, reflection, and spiritual testing. Okay, here we go. And now we're going to start looking at the meaning of the card. So when we look at the general reading or interpretation, I'm going to just move this down. So the meaning of the Seven of Pentacles generally is that it represents patience, long-term planning, and the value of consistent effort. It appears when you're in a period of assessment, you're looking at what you've built so far and considering whether your investments of time, energy, and resources are leading to the results that you desire. This card highlights slow but steady progress and encourages you to trust in the process. Growth may not be immediate, but it is happening. And the Seven of Pentacles reminds you to reflect, adjust where needed, and remain committed to the bigger picture. So, interpretation, patience, long-term planning, value of consistent effort, um, assessing investment of time, energy, resources, and whether they are leading to desired outcomes. Okay. And then also trusting in the process. Uh, Growth slow, but is happening. And remain, so I'm just going to put a little arrow, remain committed. Okay. And then when you look at the Seven of Pentacles in a career reading, if you were doing a career reading, the Seven of Pentacles, it indicates that your hard work is beginning to pay off. It's slow and steady wins the race. So, you're seeing some rewards, but it's not like, your your bank is overflowing yet, but you are starting to see rewards and things are developing. You may be evaluating your job, business, or financial strategy and wondering whether the efforts are worth the outcome. This card also encourages you to stay patient while you're making smart business adjustments. So financially, it favors long-term investments, savings, and strategies that build stability slowly rather than quick wins or quick gains. You're planting seeds now that will bring sustainable results down the road. So reevaluation of job, finances, business, um, hard work paying off, mm, good for long-term investments, and I'm just going to put an arrow for that. Planting seeds for sustainable future. Okay. And then when we look at relationships, that's next. So relationships, what you get with the Seven of Pentacles here is that you're taking stock of how far you've come and where the relationship is heading. So you or your partner may be evaluating the effort invested into the relationship and whether it aligns with a shared future or shared goals. This isn't a sign of trouble. Rather, it's an opportunity to really nurture the connection between the two people with patience, care, and honest reflection, but also intentional growth. If you're single, this can indicate a period of growth or healing before entering a new relationship or taking the time to choose a partner wisely. So this card encourages a steady, intentional development rather than rushing forward in a relationship. So uh, taking stock of a relationship and where it's headed. Let's see. Evaluating relationship goals and shared future. Okay, now single. Period of growth slash healing before starting a new relationship. And I'm just going to do it a little bit out so I know that this is still part of the single person. And that is taking time to choose partner wisely. Okay, and now next is health. Okay, so when we're looking at a health reading, the Seven of Pentacles is about really evaluating your health, taking gradual steps to be consistent and being consistent in your health regime or health program. And so you might be engaging in a dedicated fitness program or eating habits or therapy as well if you've had injuries or anything like that with your health. But it's like this ongoing practice. Progress may feel slow, but it is happening. And this card really reassures you that your health is moving towards that stability and that better well-being. And it's just really about taking time to track your progress and look at the little wins and successes that you've had as you're heading towards a longer term goal, that the results aren't going to happen overnight. For example, like if you're trying to lose weight, weight loss doesn't happen overnight. It's slow and steady through effort and consistency. So consistent efforts toward health, steady improvements, and let's see, engaging in long-term health goals. Okay. And now we're going to look at the reverse meaning of the card. So when we look at the Seven of Pentacles, I'm just going to write it over here. So reversed. And I'm just going to move my book up so you can see that better. Okay. So when we look at the Seven of Pentacles reversed, this really suggests frustration, impatience. You're feeling like your efforts aren't yielding any results at all. You're not seeing any growth, anything like that. So you may be investing energy in something that just isn't giving you a fair return, whether it is a job, a relationship, a financial plan, or even personal goals. This card really urges you to reevaluate your time and the resources that you're dedicating to something and looking at possibly changing direction. It also warns against giving up too soon, though, out of discouragement. The key really is about refinement, either a shift to your approach or redirect your energy towards something that is more rewarding for a pursuit. So, impatience, frustration, efforts not yielding results. Okay. Feeling like you aren't receiving fair returns on efforts. Okay. Reevaluate where you spend time and resources and decide whether to persevere or change direction. Okay. And there we go. That is our Seven of Pentacles. Thank you for joining me today on your path of learning. Join me next week when we dive into the Eight of Pentacles. If you found today's video fun, informative, or both, please like, comment, share, and subscribe, and check out my free monthly and weekly tarot readings.